Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week. We are getting some capitulation on the Bitcoin price. We had the market open kind of nasty on the GDP data. The GDP did not look very good. It was down. I guess that's all you need to know. You don't really need to, understand it too much. It's just, long story short, 4 years of absolute atrocious monetary policy I'm sure it's going to have cascading rippled effects that go into another administration, right? But what they like to do is they go, oh, well, it's Trump's fault. So, I mean, if you think about it, we were dealt a pretty terrible hand for the past 4 years in terms of money printing, the inflation, the interest rates. I mean, we were just getting smashed. So all this data that's coming out is kind of like a ripple out, and the effect of what was happening over the past 4 years, because all this data, I mean, it takes a while to actually culminate into the numbers that we're seeing. So the market did not like it. The stock market opened up kind of bearish as well. We're going to get into that, and we are going to get into maybe, I guess, the philosophical reasons why Bitcoin is important and why certain people, when they started to learn about Bitcoin, felt this awakening inside of them and also started to think about their money in a completely different way. And Randy Hipper, shout out to Randy Hipper, she reminded us of this. We're always thinking about it, but it's definitely a good reminder when someone's going on a good rant that it's about freedom. It's about being able to custodian your own assets, know that you have actual ownership, and that you can prove that by the blockchain. You can prove it, and it's really hard to prove when you're dealing with this fiat currency and this fiat cash, where they're just able to put in 60% of, 60% of what the money supply is right now in fiat currency has been put in the supply over just the past 4 years. So that's crazy that they were able to print that amount of money, just paper, and then issue it into all these different places. And we don't know really how much it was. We really don't know how much actually went out, because if Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, is discovering billions of dollars of fraud, then there's probably trillions of dollars of fraud. And so trillions of dollars are unaccounted for. Now, can that happen with Bitcoin as a reserve currency? No, it can't. It can be manipulated by exchanges, 100%. That can only be controlled until they get served papers for things like that. Which, man, sometimes we kind of want them to be served. And we'll see who outlasts if they can really stop themselves from all the offshore manipulation. Because we had this interesting comment from Crypto Rover. He said, stop effing selling your Bitcoin. Guys, this isn't people selling Bitcoin. Do you think Crypto Twitter doesn't even own Bitcoin? Crypto Twitter, when you ask, do you own Bitcoin or do you own alts and memes? It's like 90% of Crypto Twitter are in alts and memes and don't even have exposure into Bitcoin. So this isn't retail or Crypto Twitter even selling the Bitcoin. They don't even have Bitcoin to sell. So I said, it's not people. It's exchanges and market makers. People don't even own Bitcoin. I said, this is manipulation. This isn't people selling Bitcoin. They don't even know how to buy it yet. What do you mean sell it? They wouldn't even know how to sell it. I've been asked so many questions on, well, if it goes up, how do I sell it? So they don't even know how to buy it. They would not know how to sell it. So who is this? It's the exchanges, the people that are trading against you. Don't make them think. Don't let them in the timeline make you think that this is people selling Bitcoin. That's outrageous. They don't even own it. So Popcat, Popcat said, yeah, he's right, you know. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think normies are really looking at the news and going, oh, let me sell my Bitcoin? No, that's not happening. All right, so let's get into the price. Smash up the likes, hit the subscribe button, do all the things. We're going to have some fun today. Why not? Why not have some fun today? And you guys can join the community. It's called the Dano Dojo Crew, or I can't remember what Dave Digital called it. He called it the HODL. The HODL, what did you say? The HODL Harambe Gaines Goon Squad or something. I don't know what he called it, but it was hilarious. Someone else said the Danites, and that made me really laugh. The Danites. It was just terrible. Sounded like something out of the Bible. The Dananites. You hear about the Canaanites in the Bible. All right, so here's the deal. This is what's been happening with Bitcoin. We got this accumulation, redistribution, levels being swept on the big daily time frame. You can see here that this was such a key area of support at 76,000 that we went up, we tested those all-time highs, we went into the Trump pump, and then we swooped and wanted to, test these levels again. The market loves doing this. So I've noticed now the market loves doing this. They run it up, run it. They kind of fake you out a little bit still. They run it up again. And it's just once you kind of see something like this now, I'm starting to figure it out, guys. I mean, you start to figure it out once you look at these charts long enough. You get two different resistance points at high tops with wicks like this. I mean, you're guaranteed to go down. And it just has happened a few times where we've had, look, here, up, here again, rejected. Oh, look at this. Two tops. Rejection. We could probably find some other spots. This one right here, big wick, rejection. Those spots, man, when they do that double top thing, it's crazy. It really gets you. Oh, it really did it in the previous market, the previous all-time high in the cycle, last cycle, right there. Did it again, tried to test it, and couldn't hold it. If we would have broke through, that was our 100K. Everyone was like, 100K on the table. Like, everyone and their grandma at this point was like, oh, now we're going to 100K. But once we couldn't hold, even just through here, it was a little tricky. It was dicey. But you got to remember, we went to an all-time high and then crashed to $29,000. And then we managed to recover from that and try and push another all-time high. So at that point, imagine you're up here, and then in just 69 days, that's not that long. 69 days, you're right back down. 55%. 55% down, and you're thinking, oh my God, it's over. Like, it's over. And then only for it to go right back up. I mean, that was a tricky one, okay? So now, fast forward, we broke out of this sideways chop flag into the all-time high. You can see that it basically cleared almost the exact breakout point and even crushed it even more. A lot of that had to do with the Trump pump. You know, there was the Trump pump. And this is what's interesting. And you see this. Boom, boom. Now you're seeing on the inverse a 1 and 2 on these lows here. Wyckoff accumulation, I guess, is what this is called. And you chop up here in this little spot, which is basically just kind of like a mini W. It's just, well, now it's fully not, I mean, it's not even doing, it's just such chop. I mean, it's chopping between these ranges. You can see the order block chop. It's just touching these ranges. It's going, okay, bump, liquidate the shorts, liquidate the longs, boom, 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 boom. They just did that again today where they pushed it up. They were trying to push it. They liquidated the shorts that were probably right in here. They had shorts accumulating probably right in the middle of this range, you know, where it was going down, and then they liquidate them up here, and then the market, then we go long. We go long at the top of the order because we think it's going to break through, and then your long trades at 50x or more, or even the 30x, anything like that gets liquidated or gets stopped out, causing it to sell the position, and then that's what is pushing the price down back into the previous order block, where you can see it happening right here. You can 1, 2, 3. This is on the 45-minute. So, I mean, if you're following this crap, I mean, it's a little tricky. So you think maybe now it just kind of pops up and touches that order block again, and if it can't break through, you better bet your butt it's probably just going to go down and chop again and possibly test that, and it's going to annoy the crap out of people. But a lot of this price action too is news based. You know, a lot of this is like, okay, we're going off of the numbers. So a lot of days are going to have more volatility. We're really trading off of like what Trump says. You know, anything that Trump says, I mean, it gets market reaction in the stock market, in the cryptocurrency markets. It's causing trading to be very volatile because of those factors. It's not like those factors never did exist, but it just seems like it's at a more scammy nature. I know you guys feel it. I know you feel it, that you're like, why does it feel so scammy right now? And you wonder why retail is like, absolutely not. Like they until a big video game goes massively viral with a crypto thing, and then people start speculating and like, okay, fine, I'll buy some Ethereum, I'll buy whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's when retail's going to come in and they'll just blindly go into whatever. But right now, they're like, absolutely not. They don't want to even step foot in this arena. Trust me. I don't know if you think that retail's here, they're interested in crypto, look at the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. There's not a bunch of new people just typing in crypto YouTube or how to blah, blah, blah right now on YouTube. That's the ultimate metric for normie retail coming in, is that they're doing what we did in 2021, coming in and just going, okay, who's to watch? Like, who do we watch? What do we do? It's not going to change. That's going to be the same thing that retail does. They're going to act like we did coming in our first cycle. You go to Twitter, you go to X, you're going to go to X, you're going to go to YouTube. All right, so this is the Trump tweet. He said, this is Biden's stock market, not Trump's. I didn't take over until January 20th, so tariffs will soon start kicking in, and companies are starting to move into the U.S. in record numbers. Our country will boom, but we have to get rid of the Biden overhang What we were mentioning, in the beginning of the stream, that kind of 4-year like choke point of everything. It was like, if we all were kind of a victim of it, because you got to think, everything went up triple in price. Everything that you normally would have been able to afford no problem now doubled or tripled in price. And not to mention, it was everything, not just your stuff that you bought, but your rent as well, and your taxes, and the interest. So that's 3 things. Everything went up. And if you weren't prepared for that, you got sidelined in a matter of 1 to 2 months of that happening, because it wasn't like a slow drip. It was like, boom, you're getting everything. Everything is going up. And it kind of happened really fast in the beginning, and then lasted for 3-4 years. I saw it happen to my own stuff. Like, if it happened to you, put a 1 in the chat. If all your things went up, like double or triple, because ours did. It was crazy. I was like, whoa. I was like, expenses went up almost $3,000 extra dollars. It was insane. So no wonder people don't have any damn money to invest. They're not investing, they're gambling, because they only have $50 left. They're like, I got $50. I have $50. I got $100. That's why I'm trying to go into a meme coin, pump whatever that you think is going to pump or be the runner. That's why the mentality is like this right now. I'm speaking from experience, because that's what it'll do to you. That's what like any type of desperation, or you're feeling the FOMO, missing out, whatever it may be, or you literally only have $100. What are you going to try and do? You're not going to buy Bitcoin. That's just so rolling back to what I'm saying, that retail's not here. They don't have a stimulus check. They don't have there's no extra money. So they're not even thinking about investing right now. They're not thinking about it. They're just trying to pay the bills. So until money can actually be spent, retail's not coming in. So what is actually moving the markets? What's moving the markets? Why is Bitcoin up almost back to its all-time high if retail isn't here yet? The answer is institutions. The answer is institutions. Institutional buying. Institutional buying. Got to go back. I want to pull this up. We are at currently with this chart, I'm zooming in. Total crypto market cap almost back to 3 trillion. We're pretty close. We're almost pretty close back to 3 trillion. If we go to the total crypto market cap, 2.8 trillion right now, okay? And we're breaking out. If you're looking at this on, and we'll put it on the monthly or the weekly. You look at this on the weekly, we're currently breaking out like this basically looks like gold. How gold, the chart looks exactly like gold. If you go to the weekly on the cryptocurrency total crypto market cap, and then you look at gold in the same chart, it's like the same chart if you just like go like this and zoom it out a little bit. The difference is that what is fascinating. The difference is the time frame, okay? Because you had more cryptos coming into the space and more liquidity and more things coming in after the fact of Bitcoin, after 2012 or 2013. You can kind of have, all these other cryptos coming out of the woodwork after Bitcoin, inspired by Bitcoin. And then, oddly enough, at this point, at 2008, we mentioned this. This is when sentiment in fiat currency in general, I think, was signaled that like it's the Ponzi scheme in the game is coming to an end. There's going to be a flippening of hard assets, and gold was the signal, and then Bitcoin becoming that thing, and then stablecoins and all of this stuff that is now being invested in, like with the 21 company with Howard Lutnick and Jack Mahler's Tether. That's just one company. That's just they're doing exactly what MicroStrategy is doing, or strategy we say, and the Michael Saylor, his Bitcoin strategy that he implemented in August of 2020 ended up valuing his stock up over $1,000. They did a stock split. They're almost back up to where they were now, and they're issuing and offering yield by having exposed into the MicroStrategy stock, into the strategy stock, and then proving that this Bitcoin reserve or this strategy that you can implement on it, and even just on his size, being that company size. Imagine what like GameStop and what all these other companies end up doing, and what it can actually do. So the big money's coming in, and they realize this now. So gold was the signal, even for the beginning of 2008. You know, it's hard to see back then. If you had been following Bitcoin or seeing the track, you'd think, oh, that like how many times they did funerals for Bitcoin all during those times. But if you were to just compare it to gold, or then now go to the total cryptocurrency market cap, and we'll look at this and look at how it broke out. Now, I think if you're looking at these patterns and saying, okay, this is the next step for crypto, you can see that the breakout point here would be as about as high as gold just did from its breakout point on the cup and handle. So if gold pulled from here, an 83% move, total crypto market cap, I think could probably pull that. %. That brings us up to a $5 trillion total market cap. But then you got to think about it. Got to think, okay, what if Bitcoin ends up actually really truly getting that liquidity injection like we're seeing, and then the supply shock happens? We could be looking at a 15 trillion Bitcoin, 7 trillion the underlying ones like ETH, XRP, Cardano, Litecoin, kind of just going down that list of the top, Solana. Then 4 trillion would be memes and gaming ecosystems and everything else. I mean, this is how we could get to this valuation, but we have to be patient. So we have it marked up here as at least getting up to 7 trillion is going to be a game changer. I mean, that's going to be a lot of dough. That will be a lot of dough that can be spread around into hopefully the bags that we are all holding. I want everyone to win. I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to have a good bag. This is not, is that really what's happening right there? I hope my stream is working. Okay, it is working. Just the numbers, there's no one watching. There's no one watching. I don't know. All right. So speaking of the big money coming in, we'll put this on so you guys can watch it. Quick clip of Jack Mahler's talking about the ultimate vehicle for the capital markets to participate in Bitcoin.
How exactly is the strategy at your firm going to be different than what Michael Saylor has done over at Strategy?
I would say the hole in the market, or the opportunity rather, that we've identified is to be a pure play Bitcoin business. We want to be the ultimate vehicle for the capital markets to participate in Bitcoin. And so that's not only accessing the capital markets to raise accretive Bitcoin denominated capital and grow something like Bitcoin per share through fundraising, but also building Bitcoin native business lines and business models. I think, as Tether and myself co-founding the business as partners, we have a lot of experience and success in our other business ventures in finding high margin, high growth opportunities. And we hadn't seen anyone that was using access to the capital markets, access to a massive Bitcoin balance sheet, extend that opportunity beyond just buying Bitcoin and actually building on top of Bitcoin. So we are a Bitcoin business at our core. It's at our founding. It's in our name. It's on our board. It's at our leadership. We build Bitcoin products. We're focused on Bitcoin cash flow, and then obviously an ability to accumulate Bitcoin through capital market fundraising and grow our Bitcoin per share. So we are as pure play a Bitcoin opportunity in the capital markets as we think exists. And that is what sets us apart from everyone.
All right, we're back. All right, now we're actually back. My cat was meowing at the door. If I didn't let her out, she was going to keep doing it. All right, so yeah, this is just some chop, guys. This is just some funky chop. You can just see definitely respected some liquidity sweeps, I guess, that wanted to come back here. Some high, some orders, I guess, really wanting to get filled again. But you can see it's kind of matched where the price was wanting to go. It got exhausted here. You could see like the buyers just weren't strong enough to push it over this level to kind of push it, because the next level would have been to crush through here and hit 96 and then, hit a little bit of resistance. There's some high resistance at 97. We have it marked up there. So like at least we had some levels that we could, have some take profits and eyes of resistance above this order block, but it wasn't able to hold. So in that, do you think hindsight, okay, what can I do for the next setup, is think to yourself, okay, well, if it gets exhausted up here multiple times and then there's just not enough of a push, then I would just be then looking at the retracement levels on the previous candles in whatever, and it doesn't matter what time frame, like whatever's going to reveal more data to you that can get you that time frame that will show you where price was supported. So you can see here, like we got pretty decent support in these levels, and then where price was pretty obvious, kind of hitting that resistance, and where it wasn't able to hold. So for future trades, this could be a real great metric. And you can also match this kind of with the order block here, the order block detector, and to kind of show where price is, really eyeing where those sells and buys are coming in. And the thickness of it as well, kind of the majority, like you see, it has a big order block, boom, seemed to match up. So yeah, you can use that, I guess, to your advantage for the next setup for your next trade. And then you can kind of see here too that since it hit that level, it was pretty nasty. But now we wicked, which shows that it was just kind of a market. You know, they wanted to fill some big orders there. And they could be pushing it up to the upside, but it could also do what you could call maybe a dead cat bounce, because it did drop pretty. I mean, it wasn't like a super hard drop, but I mean, it could go boom and then try and really get us, because there's a lot of, I would say not bearish people, but people that are like, look, hey, I mean, this 91, that's a level. This one right here, it's been respecting these levels right here, and the market could, it could do it. 91. I would watch for 91. If we can't sustain this, if we get another scammy wick, or we get some bad news or something like that, then this is what I would suspect is pushing and then going down again, and then it just goes through. If it goes through and falls through the floor of 92, that's your bearish case scenario. I want to give you the bearish case scenario. Because right now, you're probably thinking, ooh, let me get in a long. Until we can really push it, just be careful. Because I already kind of made some mistakes earlier today and yesterday, to be honest. Like, just kind of not being more patient. You know, I guess we all need to listen to Trump, you know? We need to be patient. Because he said it will take a while, has nothing to do with tariffs, only that he left us with bad numbers, quoting Biden. But when the boom begins, it will be like no other. Be patient. So are we going to be able to be patient enough? Well, only time and money will tell. So watch out. You got to watch out for this, because this is how they get you. They say test it up. Just be careful. We want to see actual volume coming in. Was it really a little oversold coming down at this point? A little aggressive, a little scammy. Especially on the one. Just look at that. Whoa, boom. Especially on the daily too. That's the one that's annoying. Look at that. That's when look at this. Chop, scam candles, how are you supposed to trade that? How are you supposed to trade that? How are you supposed to trade those candles? How are you supposed to trade that? Good luck. Hey, you gotta be like we said. You gotta be like a roach. Crypto Face said you gotta be like a roach. You gotta be in and out. Lights come on, get back under the fridge. Get the crumb. All right, so alts reacted pretty strong on this, but let's actually see. Let's see real quick. See how the bubbles are looking. So, interesting enough, Floki, out of everything, and Fartcoin are outperforming everything else, where everything else is in the red on the day. Floki's up 6%. Now, we talked about Floki and we have talked about Floki many times, of it being that kind of like underdog coin, pun intended. It was one of the dog coins that really has actually stood the test of time through the bear markets. It's built a lot of stuff around it that it's kind of like given itself utility out of being a meme coin. And I didn't think of it for the longest time, but it's actually Elon inspired, because Floki is the name of Elon's Doge dog, if I'm not mistaken. So it has that type of lore with Dogecoin. So it's one of those coins, just like SHIB, that was able to really do well off of the Doge narrative, because some of them kind of fell to the wayside. But Floki's been able to stay pretty strong. So I shouldn't be surprised that in the carnage, or when there's a red day, that Floki is holding up pretty strong. And then we've been curious about the dang fart coin because of the fact that it does hold up strong and is a lot of the times a leading indicator of bullishness for the meme market right now. But then also we want to recognize the ticker as also being one of those coins. We'll have to pull it up on a different chart. We're going to pull it up on... Oh, and shout out to the ticker Bitcoin Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu team, because they just recently did this interview, and it was a great interview. It was great. They explained kind of how the meme culture is and how it was back in the day, and how this coin kind of represents almost like it's a meme index fund, you know, like it's almost like the VIX. Like they said that it's like, it's kind of like watching the VIX of memes. You know, if once we're actually, when memes are doing well and ETH's doing well, like this is when we have seen all-time highs on ticker Bitcoin. And so I'd like to believe that, you know, we're destined for long-term success on this coin. But I liked hearing from the two dudes that did the interview that they want it to be, they know it's like it's not like the chart is going to be, it's an open chart. But they wanted to be a multi-cycle coin, and so it's not about like extracting here and then abandoning and then just being like, okay, cool, like you guys now blah blah blah. But what's cool about this particular community, like there's a lot of really cool art creators and very creative people that make a lot of content, actually make physical goods, and it's like they're not even really asked to do so. They just do it because they love the brand, they love how, you know, being a part of this community makes them feel for however they feel, and it inspires them to create stuff. Like we got this tarot deck. The tarot deck is amazing, and then you got the Sprotos NFTs themselves, and then what art comes out of the Sprotos. So it's really interesting. So I think I like that the Sprotos are very entwined and in tune with the token itself. Because like sometimes the NFT people, they're like strictly NFTs. They don't give a crap about actual crypto tokens. They're just like, I just want to trade NFTs. But what's cool about the NFT holders of ticker Bitcoin, or the Sprotos, is that they really like ticker Bitcoin and they like the token. And that it's like they're just like, they want the whole thing to keep growing and for people to know about the brand, and they're not afraid to, you know, wear the merch out and have people be like, what the hell is that? But like we've told you, you know, we get so many compliments on our shirt, and people are so curious about it, and mainly they're just like, man, that's a sick shirt. And then if they really truly ask, then I'll give it to them. I say, well, it's Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu, but the ticker is Bitcoin, and then their mind, they're like, whoa. So it's fun. That's why we like it. It's just fun. You are supposed to have fun in crypto, and the fact that this ticker is Bitcoin, I mean, that's what made me laugh, and really was like, how are they? In the back in the old days, I was like, how are they getting away with this? How are they able to do this? Are they gonna what? And why didn't anyone do this before? Just to make the ticker actually Bitcoin. It's amazing. So that alone what made me laugh. And then you go to the website, and you're like, okay. This is a schizo amalgamation of a 90s, early 2000s kid that was raised all through, like, maybe the Obama, you got the Obama years, you got the Harry Potter years, you got the Sonic years. Everything all kind of everything all comes full circle. That's why I think it really is a true meme. All these other ones are kind of forced memes. They're forced memes. I don't like forced memes. They're annoying. It's like, you know what a forced meme is? It's like Taylor Swift. That's what a freaking forced meme is. Dog with hat is like being like you are gonna like Taylor Swift, and we're gonna make you like it. You're gonna listen to it. You're gonna go to the concert. You're gonna watch her terrible dance moves. And you're gonna like it. There's like these forced memes, like you're turning on the radio and it's whatever pop star they're trying to force on you to like, and then it's actually kind of catchy, and you're like, damn it. You're like, then you have it in your head, and you're like, I don't even like it. That's what some of these memes are. It's a perfect example. I hope there's like 1 million people here to hear that, but no, there's probably gonna be like 7. Says it's not receiving enough video. Oh no, I should be. Oh, it says my stream is poor. Oh no, has it been lagging? Looked like it was good. All right. Well, I think we're done streaming. Yeah. Yeah, we're done streaming. Shout out to all the Sprotos. Shout out to the Sprotos. Shout out to those dudes, because man, they'll raid your posts. Anything about the ticker, they will raid your X. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you. I don't know. YouTube's being weird. I was thinking about testing out Abstract, the Abstract streaming. That might be where it's at. It's just streaming on Abstract. Because apparently people are getting tipped 1 ETH. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a competition. Or do a challenge. We'll say, hey, because we've earned about $2,000 on YouTube so far since we got monetized. Around there. For this channel size, kind of makes sense. And I'd be curious to see if in the first month that I can make double that on Abstract through the tipping function. Who knows? But also, I got to remember that the people that are getting tipped 1 ETH, they're female. That actually might help as well. I'm not a pretty female, so I don't think 1 ETH tips are coming into my Abstract. But we'll see. We'll see if I can get on there. I think you have to get approved. It's an approval process of some sort. What's Bitcoin doing? Yeah, it's trying to push. All right, guys. All right, we'll see you later. We'll see you on the next stream.